Okay, hello everyone. I'm Apocalypse the Geek Guru, and today I'm going to be going over the Miss Marvel official trailer. Let's get into this stupid, stupid, stupid trailer. Okay, now it starts off with this really weird sort of animation. Let me show you. You see, it's got like this weird sort of bubbly, like, oh, comic books. We're, com- we're comic books, Marvel Studios. Rem- Remember when you liked comics? I get it. And she's having this weird conversation with her teacher or her counselor or whatever. And then she gets mildly, like super mildly bullied by this by this girl who has like devil horns on her head for some reason. Now I'm sure like a lot of the little like all this crap and the word bubbles and thought bubbles and stuff like that. I'm sure that's just for the trailer. Like it doesn't seem like something that's gonna be in the actual show. It's just like, hey, look how cool we are. It's like what they did with the Suicide Squad. Oh my god, I just realized that. So yeah, she gets super mildly bullied. All this girl says is like, "Oh hey, Kamala," and she's just like, "Oh, it's Kamala," and I guarantee freaking that that was like a reference to Kamala Harris. I Karen freaking T it was. Oh, cool. We get to see her little cosplay outfit. Now, I've heard other people talk about uh Kamala Khan, and oh look, we get we get some male exploitation. That's perfectly okay and not hypocritical at all. 100. Oh my gosh, real life little 100, 100, 100. Oh, she's wearing a freaking like. Oh my god, friend's pretty hot, but she's like, oh, you're standing on my clothes. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so quirky. God, this is gonna suck. She's sitting there daydreaming. Like, look, that is some season one Flash CW crap right there. Now, I originally thought this was gonna be a movie. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I can sit through that. But no, it's gonna be a TV show. I don't even know how many episodes, but if it's more than like two or three, that's two or three too many. Like, or one or two too many. Like, seriously. Because here's the thing, like I said, I like Kamala. I like Miss Marvel, but doesn't mean I want to watch like a whole. Like, I don't think there's enough character there for her to like carry a series. Like, I just don't see it. So yeah, and here's the thing, I've heard a lot of people talk about how this isn't the story. This is not the origin story of a hero. This is the origin story of a villain because all she wants is just she just craves power so she can be strong and popular and get all the boys and stuff like that. Now, I heard at least one person, Adam Heel versus Babyface. He was talking about this on the Real BBC the other day, and he was basically saying that craving power is villainous, and I feel as though it depends on the circumstances. For instance, Doctor Strange, he craved power because he wanted to learn and he wanted to be a better person. Booster Gold, he literally stole his power, went back in time so that he could be a hero, like so that he could be some famous hero. But he's still a good person and still like a hero, So craving power isn't in and of itself a villainous quality. But the reasons that behind her wanting power, like just so she can be powerful and popular and get away from school and, not have to do all this stupid stuff. It's like, that's. And another thing is, I don't even know who the freaking villain is in this show. I literally have no idea. There's just no villain in this show. It's just her being like, I want superpowers. I'm a superhero. It's just, like, I don't. What is this show about? Just some girl with powers dealing with teenage troubles. I don't care about that. They already have that in Naomi, and it sucks. like that doesn't work. Or if it does, like you can't. It does. It could work, but not with what they're doing. For instance, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. Another anime that I love that I would wish they would freaking dub. Anyway, so this series is gonna look so stupid. Now, I think I mentioned before, I don't like how they've changed her powers. Now, they've changed her powers into this, like, she's basically a Green Lantern, but with a bracelet instead of a lantern ring, which makes it completely different. It's not the same thing at all, you know? Like, so stupid. Let me show you. Like, look, she puts on the bracelet and it's like, oh, I have powers now. And it's like, as I mentioned before, her powers were that she was like, she could stretch and do stuff. And I think that's cool. Because I know how to look at it from a combative perspective. And it's like, now they've just made her into this Green Lantern who's just like, oh, let me put up power constructs and stuff. So, I'm wondering, are these the villains? Who are these guys? Can anyone help me? Anyone have any sort of guess as to who these guys could be? Because as I said, I know next to nothing about Miss Marvel. I don't know who her villains are. Does she have any villains? Who does she fight against? Does anybody know? Does anybody even care? Or whatever. This looks like it's in probably India or something. Like something's burning down. Not really sure. Now, I have no problem with her, being Muslim and them, going into, like, they show her at a mosque, praying in a mosque, because this is like just a Sana Amanat self-insert, For those of you who don't know who Sana Amanat is, she was like the vice president or something. She was one of the vice presidents of Marvel, and she was recently fired for sexual misconduct, I believe. So yeah, and that's where she goes, I'm a superhero, and runs off. It's like, no, you're not, because you haven't seemed to do anything heroic. Now, apparently that little image of her sitting on the thing is actually like from a comic. I'm sure all of her comic fan will love that. But yeah, there's still, there's the mosque. Yeah, okay, so like that was her powers right there. Like that little like blowing stuff up and putting up shields. Like, I'm a superhero. It's June 8th, original series. Now again, I like her costume. With the little scarf thing going by it, color scheme's alright. I don't see anything wrong with her costume. And apparently they, people are like, oh, well, they just made her costume so that, like, people could cosplay as it. But it's like they explained, like, first off, she's not a freaking billionaire with, all this stuff. So it's like, obviously, she's just some kid. So her costume being, like, some shit that she would find around her house makes perfect sense. And like I think I explained earlier, how I didn't like the reason that she wears like what she wears is because like that's what Muslim women wear when they do like sports and stuff, like when they go to the Olympics and like gymnastics and stuff, like that's what Muslim women wear. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, nice little insight into their culture that I didn't know. So like there's a reason that her costume looks like that. So I don't know, like I think I mentioned before, I feel like she gets a lot more shit than she deserves. But again, I haven't read the comics. So, I don't know. Disney Plus. Now, let me just start off by saying that when the Avengers video game first came out, I was really excited to play it. I was really excited to play it because I loved, Marvel Ultimate Alliance and everything like that, and I thought it was going to be a new, a new cooler version of that. Then the game came out. I didn't have enough money to get it, for one, which is case with basically every new game that comes out. But I heard that it was all about Miss Marvel, like the game centers around Miss Marvel, and I was like, I don't care, because I didn't care about Miss Marvel. It wasn't that I disliked her; it was that I was completely indifferent. I didn't know anything really about her as a character except she could like stretch and make her hands big, which A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's such a stupid power." It's like, dude, that's like Mr. Fantastic's power. She's got like the same freaking powers. But then, like a couple months, maybe even I think it might have been like a few years after the game came out, it was free on Xbox. It was free on Xbox Game Pass, and I was like, well, shit, if it's free, I'll check it out. So I went and I got it, and I brace yourselves because I actually liked the game. I thought she was a pretty endearing character, and I literally could not understand and still don't understand why the game got so much shit. Like I thought it was a fun game. Yes, I would have rather play like I played more often as like Thor and Iron Man and Hulk and Captain America and Black Widow and stuff. Yeah, I played more as them, but she was still a fun character. And the fact that she could like swing from stuff, stretchy arms, she could make her hands grow bigger. Like there's nothing wrong with those powers. Like those powers are pretty cool. And I feel like a lot of the people that diss on her powers are like are really biased towards her because one, she's a Captain Marvel fan. She like has a huge connection to Captain Marvel, and I feel like a lot of people dig on her for that, and, like immediately dislike her because of that. But it's like you're not thinking about her powers from like a combat perspective and like fighting people. Those are exceedingly useful powers. But do you have any idea how useful those powers are in a combat perspective? She can't break bones. She can grow to like, I think at the end of the first campaign in the game, she grows to like the size of a freaking skyscraper. Like, if you don't think those powers are cool, you are not looking at it from an objective standpoint. Like, let me just get that out of the way right now. And which is why it irritates the hell out of me. Which is why it irritates the hell out of me that they've changed her powers. You know? I mean, what? I'm already pretty sure I know the answer to this, but like, what did y'all think about the game? And like, what did y'all think about her character? Because I actually liked her as a character. I actually like her costume too. Now, granted, my only experience of Miss Marvel is from the game and like a few panels in a Gwenpool comic. That is my only experience. I have not read her comics. I have not gone through her comics. But I still don't think that the game deserves half as much. Not even I don't get why people hate that game so much. Like, just because it's centered around Kamala Khan. She's not that bad of a character. Like, honestly. I'm not even kidding. When I played the game, I was like, why are people so hateful of her? Like, oh my god. It doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, I get it. They're pushing her to the front, identity politics and all that. But it's like, okay, it wasn't that bad, you know? So anyway, I might do, if anyone wants me to do, like, go through and do, like, a legit review of the game and go over everything, will, if enough people want. I just felt like I had to take a second to explain Miss Marvel and my feelings towards her and like my experience of her, so that you know that I'm not just going into this like, who's this character? Oh, she looks stupid, this and that. I do have some bit of experience with Miss Marvel, and somewhat I actually did. I like her as a character from what I've seen. Again, haven't gone over the comics. I'm sure the fact that her comics have been canceled many times, I'm sure there's a good reason for that. I'm sure in the comics she's terrible. I'm sure that in the game was probably the best version of her, which still a lot of people didn't like. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say, really, about the new Miss Marvel show. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it. I need to get like Disney Plus and stuff. No, I'm sure I can find it somewhere else. But like, I didn't even watch Hawkeye. I think the last show that I watched was the last like Marvel show I watched was Falcon and Winter Soldier, and which I had been quoted as saying in the beginning of the show, at the very beginning of the first episode, I was like, this show is awesome, because when they're like doing the helicopter stuff, like I thought that show was awesome, but then it just devolved into crap, just like a lot of their shows. At least this one's starting off really, really, really crappy. Maybe it has nowhere to go but up. But I'm sure it's just gonna plateau right at zero the way it is. Disney, 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 Disney. You used to be something, man. When the new Disney movie came out, people were like, "Oh shit, the new Disney movie's coming out." The company of the Lion King and the Snow White and Cinderella and all those childhood movies that we know and love has now become the people that killed Star Wars. Oh my god. The people that have ruined Marvel. The jeez, the people who support concentration camps. Like, oh my god, Disney, you have devolved into such a pile of steaming excrement. It's the only way I can explain it. Oh man. So with all that being said, please like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts were. Um, you know, if you didn't like this video, tell me why. Tell me what you disagreed with. I'm sure a lot of people will. I had a lot of hot takes. But yeah, so thank you all for watching this far if you did. If you didn't, well, you're not hearing this. So, all right. Goodbye, everyone.